Alright, if you're having problems with your machine, there's a few things that you can check. So the first thing that I want you to check, turn your hand wheel towards you, okay, and look at your thread take-up lever. Right there, there's no thread in the thread take-up lever. So if that's the case, you need to re-thread your machine so that you have thread in your thread take-up lever. The other thing that you can check is check your bobbin. Okay, down here, take out your bobbin, leave it in the bobbin case, and just gently pull on the bobbin. You can see when I pull on the bobbin, it's unwinding counterclockwise, and counterclockwise is incorrect. So if it is counterclockwise, what you're going to do, you're going to take the bobbin out, okay, and if it's going counterclockwise, you have made the letter P. Remember, you need to make the number 9. Once you have the number 9, then you can drop it into your bobbin case. Pinching it with your left hand, then you're going to put it down the first crack, down the second crack, and then place it back into the machine with the number at the bottom. Okay, press it in until you hear the click, and then you need to do the fishing step again. So holding your top thread, you're going to take the hand wheel, turn the hand wheel towards you, the needle goes all the way down and all the way up, only once, stop when you see your thread take-up lever right at the top, and then you're going to carefully pull your lower thread, turn off your machine so you don't sew your finger when you reach down below to grab your thread. Then tuck your threads behind, close your machine, and try to sew. Presser foot goes down, needle goes into the fabric. This might be another problem you're experiencing. If you have your machine sewing in one spot, that means that your feed dogs might be dropped. So what I'm going to get you to do, and I've also started to jam the machine as well because I did not rethread the top. So again, check. If you have your machine stops and it doesn't sew, check again. You need to make sure your thread is in the thread take-up lever. So I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. I'm going to come back down here. If your machine is sewing in one spot, go back down where your bobbin case is. Sometimes your feed dogs, the metal part underneath your machine, they're actually dropped. So to check that, you're just going to take this dial and push it back over to the left. Close your machine and try to sew again. And this time it should work. Now, if you have a jam in your machine, such as this, because you didn't put your thread in your thread take-up lever, what you need to do is you need to start again. So cut your threads away, and you're just going to come back up and rethread your machine. So often when you have problems stitching, it's because your machine is not threaded correctly. So rethread it, making sure you're going on the left side, back around, then on the right side of the thread take-up lever, and checking to actually make sure your thread is right in there before you continue pulling the thread down. Then you're going to hold the thread like it's floss, put it behind the thread guide, lower your presser foot, snip the end of your threads, turn off your machine, okay, so you don't accidentally sew your finger. Looking at about eye level, the thread's going to go through the front of the needle, pull it carefully back, presser foot up, and try to pull out your threads from before, okay, the threads that you jammed your machine with, and then you're going to do your fishing step one more time. So your needle goes all the way down, all the way back up, stops with your thread take-up lever at the top, pull up your thread, and you should now have 2 threads. Before sewing on your project, always just have a scrap piece of fabric like so, turn on your machine, lower your presser foot and your needle, and make sure it's working before you continue sewing on your project. So to test to see if your machine is working, at the end, you're going to turn your hand wheel till the thread take-up lever is back at the top, lift your presser foot up, pull out your fabric, leaving your nice little tails, and then check. You should have nice tight stitches on the top, and when you flip it over, you should have nice tight stitches on the bottom. And I have an extra thread in there from when I didn't clean that out.